What do you bring to the table? What do you bring to the table? Whom do you bring to the table, and why? I imagine these questions were on Jesus' mind as he was thinking about the Last Supper. Do this in memory of me. We hear that sentence at every Mass, maybe one of Jesus' most quoted lines from the entire gospel. Do this in memory of me. It's obviously a quote from the story of Holy Thursday. Of course, in a direct sense, Jesus was instituting what Christians now know as the Eucharist, or Holy Communion. He was asking us to repeat the breaking of bread and sharing of wine, not just as a way of remembering him, but as a way of making him truly present with us, a divine encounter. Receiving communion, an encounter with the divine. Do this in memory of me. Now, as you know, Jesus is a pretty smart guy. My faith moves me to believe that he was talking about even more than that when he said those words. Do this in memory of me. Gather people around the table. Be inclusive, recognizing that being inclusive can mean being vulnerable. And my brothers, that's the costliness of love and leadership. Sharing space, breaking bread with people as they are, in their imperfections, like Judas, in their imperfections, in their beauty, in their beliefs that may differ strikingly from mine, in their humanity. Welcome people to your table. Do this in memory of me. Jesus washes his best friend's feet while they gathered at the table. He's calling us to a different kind of leadership. It's radical humility. Radical humility. Recognizing that sometimes leadership is unglamorous. Sometimes leading is not pretty. It's not beautiful. But hopefully it's filled with self-giving love. It is selfless. Now, no surprise, Peter pushes back and says, Jesus, you're never going to wash my feet. It doesn't fit with Peter's assumptions about leadership. But Jesus insists. Do this in memory of me. When we think of the story of the Last Supper, we think of some actions, but we might forget it's also at this specific point. It's this night, this last gathering with Jesus' best friends before death, that he tells us this. He says, a new command I tell you, love one another. As I have loved you, so you must love one another. Our faith tells us that he wasn't just talking to the apostles, but sharing the very core, the epicenter of his message. And of all the things, my brothers, of all the things that you have learned at St. Peter's Prep or will learn at St. Peter's Prep, this is the one. Dare I say, this is the most important. Love one another. Courageously, unashamedly. When I was putting these thoughts together yesterday, I realized that it was the 2-year anniversary of Father Tony Azzardo's passing. Pictures of Father right there. For those who might not remember, Father Azzardo was a part of Prep in one way, shape, or form for 60 years. Officially as teacher, counselor, chaplain, and retreat director, but also just a Jesuit priest who married, buried, and baptized countless members of our community. I'm sure that he baptized some of you. I'm 100% positive of that. And looking out at our faculty and staff, I know he married some of you, and I know he buried some of our parents. Love one another. Now, when Father Tony would say Mass, right, just before communion, he would say these following words about Jesus that have stuck with just so many of us. He would say, he has come to the table and eaten our bread. He has walked in the cool of the evening with the people he called friends. His tears were real, his joy intense. His prayer, we should love one another. Now, this was Father Azardo's way of reminding us that, right? Love one another. As he liked to say, it's no big deal. It's no big deal. At the end of the day, anybody can do it. But everybody is called to do it. Now, real quick story about four guys. They were named Anybody and Everybody, and they had their buddies, Somebody and Nobody. So it's a really important job to be done. There's a really important job to be done, and everybody was sure that somebody would do it. Anybody could have done it, but nobody did it. So of course, somebody got angry about that because it was everybody's job. Everybody thought anybody could do it, but nobody realized that everybody wouldn't. It ended with everybody blaming somebody when nobody did what anybody could have. So this is Easter break, right? Easter break. Let's remember that Jesus leaves us at the Last Supper with some things everybody should be doing. Welcome all people to your table, right? Even though our differences can seem so challenging sometimes. Let them sit with you. Welcome them to your table. Find that incredible strength to lead with radical humility. And don't think you're too good to wash somebody's feet. And love one another. Jesus leaves us with work to do. And my brothers, gentlemen, I promise you, this is not easy. This is not an easy way to lead. But I also promise you, it's a little bit easier when you do these things together, standing shoulder to shoulder and heart to heart. So I close with this. Probably don't realize it, but this is the last time we gather this school year as an entire community. Everybody together. So seniors, this means this is the last time ever that you will be at a St. Peter's Prep all-school mass or assembly. And I want to remind you guys, but also the guys who've only been here for 8 months, right? That's our freshmen. You were born to be marauders. You were meant to go to high school in downtown Jersey City. You were meant to be educated in our Jesuit tradition. You were born to be here. I love you. I love you a lot. We got this. Let's go, Prep.